welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles. I'm Jess, and we are back with Haley.
Hello, everyone.
Guys, we're into part 2 of Catching Fire.
We've been so excited to get to this one specifically for the ending of this part.
Yeah, we'll be doing chapters 10 through 14. And 14, if you know, you know.
I didn't know, but now I do. And I can't wait.
Yep, we are finally getting to that special tab in my book.
I'm so excited. I love Catching Fire. I got to get through this book so that we can get to Sunrise on the Reaping because, wow, I'm excited already. And we've only had 7 pages worth of
Yeah, I think it's only 7 pages. Yeah.
And I want more.
So. Yeah. So, without further, before we dive too far into things, make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. They are linked down below. So definitely go check those out. You may or may not be able to hear a cat screaming. Sometimes the mics pick it up, sometimes they don't. Apologies, but he does what he wants. Chapter 10. This doesn't make sense to Katniss. Why is her bird baked into bread? She is still ready to kill as she asks, what does that mean? A voice behind her tells her that they're on her side. She wasn't aware that there was another person there and orders her to come around. The one protests, but then there is some dragging sounds, and a girl around her age limps into view in a peacekeeper's uniform that is much too big for her, and she's also using a branch as a crutch. The older woman, around 35, is Twill, and the other is Bonnie, and they're runaways from District 8. They make the peacekeeper uniforms there, so she stole them from the factory. The one Bonnie is wearing was supposed to be for someone else, which is why it doesn't fit her. The gun that they have is from a dead peacekeeper. Bonnie is shocked when Katniss asks again about the bird and the bread. She doesn't know. Well, maybe she doesn't know any of it. There was an uprising in 8 that Katniss knew about, and that's why they left, and they're headed for District 13, which was blown up 75 years ago. Bonnie twisted her ankles from how big the boots are during her journey here. Katniss's instincts are telling her that they are saying the truth, but still grabs the gun before lowering her bow. She then thinks about the 2 people she and Gale saw in the woods and wonders if anyone is after them. They don't think so, at least. They're presumed to be dead from a factory explosion, and it's actually only by chance that they weren't there. Inside the cabin, Katniss sees a pot of pine needles and water. They're not sure what they're making, but remember from a few years ago, a tribute did that with pine needles. They've been out of food for a while now, as food was scarce in 8. Katniss dropped her bags on the floor and tells them that it's their lucky day. Even though the food is also scarce in their district, she and her family have more than enough, so she always takes her game bag, fills it with food, and makes her rounds. She had taken extra food this morning so her mother would notice and assume that she was delivering food and that she wouldn't be back until late. She grabs out 2 buns with cheese baked on top and gives them to the girls. They have plenty of these since PETA discovered that they were Katniss's favorite.
What a sweetie.
Be like, you don't have to tell me. I can tell that they're your favorite, so I'm going to make you all of them.
I know. He knows her so well.
He's so cute.
I know.
Bonnie was shocked and asked if all of it was for her, and that reminded Katniss of Rue in the arena.
With their,
the little leg, the grusling. Yeah. She confirms that it is, and they both start eating while Katniss gets some tea out and then asks about their story. The discontent in District 8 has been growing since the games, but wasn't enough anymore, and they decided to act. Spreading the word wasn't too hard since the factories are loud and they could easily pass a plan from person to person without being overheard. Twill was a teacher and Bonnie was one of her students. While school was let out, they both went in for their 4-hour factory shift where they make peacekeeper uniforms. Bonnie inspected the uniforms, and over a few months, she was able to get 2 full sets of uniform pieces, piece by piece, for Twill and her husband. It was their job to then go out and get the word out to the other districts so the uprising could be successful. The day Katniss and Peeta came was sort of a rehearsal for them. People positioned themselves in teams within the crowds. The plan was to take over the buildings with power, like the Justice Building, Peacekeepers' headquarters, communication center, as well as the railroad, granary, power station, and armory. The uprising began the night Peeta proposed to her. Their tour was mandatory viewing and therefore gave them all reason to be in the streets after dark. So at 8, they were all in their positions and it began. The peacekeepers were taken by surprise and were initially overwhelmed by the crowds. They were able to secure the communication center, the granary, and power station. They had hoped that they could do this, but then peacekeepers came in by the thousands and they bombed the rebel strongholds. They were forced back into their homes eventually and put into a lockdown for a week. No food, no coal, nothing. Occasionally, the TV would show hangings in the square, and eventually, as they were all about to starve, they were ordered to go back to business as usual, which meant school and then factory shifts. The two of them were running late to their factory shift and were about 100 yards away when it exploded. Everyone inside was killed. This included Bonnie's family and Twill's husband. They both ran to Twill's, got the uniform, grabbed what food they could, even grabbing some from the neighbors that she knew to be dead, and made it to the train station where they got on a boxcar of fabric that was going to District 6. They changed into the uniforms and fled when the train stopped for fuel. They made it to District 12 2 days ago, but were forced to stop when Bonnie twisted her ankle. They're not sure what they'll find in 13, but they have been using the same footage of 13 for as long as anyone can remember, in 8 at least. They always show the Justice Building, but if you look in the upper right-hand corner, there is a glimpse of a mockingjay as it flies by. It's the same one every time. In 8, they believe that they're using the footage over and over because they can't show what's actually there now. They think that people moved underground once they were bombed. Their industry before the dark days were nuclear development, so maybe that's why the Capitol leaves them alone. Katniss hesitates. She was taught that they were graphite miners. This is true. They had some small mines, but not enough for their entire population. They don't know why they haven't helped the other districts if they do exist. They're just holding on to hope that they do. Katniss's brief hope is gone and comes to the conclusion that these are delusions. The Capitol would never allow them to exist, and they're probably wrong about the footage. But she can't bring herself to tell them that they're chasing a dream. They have nothing to go back to. Maybe they'll be able to make a home for themselves in the woods. She doubts it, but she still wants to help. So she gives them all the food in her pack, tries to teach Twill the basics of hunting, cleaning kills, and she makes a new crutch for Bonnie and takes off an extra layer of socks for her to shove in the boots to help her walk better. And finally, how to build a fire. They beg her to tell them about 12, and she does, if only to humor them. The light is starting to go down and Katniss has to leave. They thank her and give her hugs. Bonnie cries because she can't believe that they actually met her. She is all anyone's talked about since the berries.
Aw. She's a hero. She didn't even know it.
I know.
Like, she's so many people's only symbol of hope, really.
And she has no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. None.
And she's just trying to run away.
She's like, I gotta save
go.
myself and my family.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Her mind is racing with all the new information she just got on the way back home. This did confirm one thing, though. President Snow was playing her. Nothing she could have done could have stopped what happened in 8.
Mm-hmm. So I have to rescind the statement that I previously made about him being very truthful and he kind of laid his cards on the table. He did not.
I mean, There is a chance that he's like, there's a small chance that she
Maybe.
could.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to try to do everything in my power to make her do everything in her power to flip the switch.
That's true. I think maybe they were both a little naive. I think that they
Yeah.
were not seeing the writings on the wall
Yeah.
that this was happening either way.
There was nothing stopping that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the flame is already there. So
Yeah, you can't stop it once it starts. It's already going out of control.
Yeah. And back to the factories and how they said like it was so easy to pass information.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same in 12 because they go to the mines all day, every day. No one is around listening.
No.
They would have so much time to plan an uprising in 12.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah. I guess they just don't have the people though.
Yeah, 12 is one of the smallest, or it is the smallest.
I think it is the smallest.
It is the smallest. And then but they also need everybody in order to start the rebellion versus like 8's bigger, 11 is bigger. I think they were talking at one point about District 11, how they only need a small portion of their entire population to join in versus they need their whole district to join in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I can't picture that many people in 12 not wanting to rebel. Although I guess, I mean, even though they have a terrible quality of life, they are alive. And so the risk of failing at a rebellion is that they are probably murdered.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I think it was the last episode we were talking about how, Katniss is so used to going into the Hob, but most people wouldn't be.
True.
Because that's against the law, technically.
You're right. So maybe they're a little more rule followers than I'm giving them credit for.
They might be.
Out of fear.
Yeah. So. But again, we only have Katniss's perspective, so
we don't know.
Who's to say anything, to be honest?
True.
She is kind of an unreliable narrator.
Just a tad.
Just a bit. The berries may have been a spark, but she had no way of controlling the fire, and he had to have known that. So why did he visit her? Probably to distract her and prevent her from doing anything that could cause anything to get worse. Also to keep the people and the capital entertained. I could also see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. When a mockingjay lands on a branch close by, she realizes that she never got the full explanation of the bread. Bonnie said it showed that they're on her side, but what does that mean? Is she a face for the rebellion? Is the mockingjay a symbol of the resistance? She puts her bow and arrow into the hollow log and heads for the fence. Quote, I'm crouched on one knee, preparing to enter the meadow, but I'm still so preoccupied with the day's events that it takes a sudden screech of an owl to bring me to my senses. In the fading light, the chain links look as innocuous as usual, but what makes me jerk back my head is the sound like the buzz of a tree full of tracker-jacker nests, indicating that the fence is alive with electricity. End quote, end of chapter 10.
They're watching.
They're watching. Also, Thread is getting into gear.
Oh, yeah. He's on top of it.
Ain't nothing happening under his watch. Nothing's slipping by anything.
No. No more trips to the woods, unfortunately.
No. Nope,
Which I do have to say, that was really dumb of her.
Oh, for sure.
To push her luck like that.
Well, it's like, I'm sure he was like watching her.
Yes.
And waiting for her to go in the woods. And then once he knew she was there, turn it on.
Immediately. Yeah. I'm actually surprised that she even made it into the woods. I kind of expected people to be either spying on her house or like by the fence. Although maybe they don't know where they go under the fence at. So
maybe not. Yeah. Be like, we know they're getting out. We just don't know where.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I'm also very surprised that she didn't immediately kill those people. Bonnie and Will.
Why did she hesitate?
I don't know.
Especially they're in peacekeepers uniforms?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's not like Katniss at all.
No. She hesitated. I mean, it's a good thing she did.
I mean,
but
yeah,
still,
thank God, but I'm shocked.
It is a little out of character for her to stop and ask questions. Chapter 11. Katniss backs up and blends into the trees to think, why is the power on? Does Thread know she's out there and is determined to keep her out until he can grab her to be publicly locked in the stockades, whipped, or hung? Probably.
Honestly, anyone else, yes. But I just don't think he could get away with that with Katniss.
He won't be able to kill her.
No. He might be able to, like...
do something else.
Maybe.
Potentially. I don't even know about whipping her.
Yeah.
Like,
he could do something that wouldn't show on camera. But he wouldn't be able to do anything where, like, the Capitol could tell.
Yeah.
Because they're not aware, to my knowledge, that the government's doing anything to people.
I have no idea.
That's
what they know.
That's my assumption.
I could see that, yeah.
The people in the Capitol seem a little too, like, la la la, to think that their government is out there whipping and murdering people.
Yeah.
Although they're all on drugs, too. So
they're all on drugs, and also they're not even people, so...
yeah, they're pets.
They're pets. They're pets.
Yeah. House cats.
Oh, gosh. She makes herself calm down. This isn't the first time that she's been locked out in the woods. If she didn't show up in the past, Prim would check the power to see if it was on so her mother wouldn't worry. But no one knew where she was today, and she took steps to ensure that they didn't think that she was anywhere else. This doesn't seem like a coincidence, though. Someone must have seen her, or maybe there are surveillance cameras. She surveys her surroundings. There is no one in sight, and it doesn't matter if Thread knows she left or not. She has to get back without being spotted and pretend that she never left. There is only one choice of getting on the other side without being electrocuted, and she has to get over it. Katniss finds a tree that's tall enough with a long enough branch for her. It's a maple tree. There are no low branches, so she has to climb up the tree next to it and hop over to the maple. She's finally tall enough to get over it, roughly 25 feet in the air, which is quite the significant drop, but she really does not have a choice.
Yeah, 25 feet? That's like 2 stories.
That's really tall.
Yeah. Is that more than 2 stories? I don't know. I don't actually know how much a story is.
Oh.
It feels tall.
A standard 2-story home or building typically ranges 20 to 25 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my house at home is 2 stories, and
mine was 2.
I wouldn't want to jump off of that roof.
No.
I mean, it's not going to kill you, but...
It's not going to kill you, but the odds of you not being injured are pretty slim. Like, injured somehow.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
You're not going to come out scot-free.
Yeah.
You know, if
Slightly
you do...
maimed.
Yeah. If you do, you're really lucky.
Yeah.
When she hits the ground, a jolt is sent up to her spine. She can tell that her left heel and tailbone are injured, and when she stands, she suspects that she broke something, but tries to hide her limp. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't sound good.
It's an invitation if I ever heard one. There you go.
Okay, perfect.
Forced love.
Yes.
He loves forced love. See? He loves forced love.
No, he's trying to leave.
Oh, well.
You cannot sit here and enjoy it.
I highly doubt he's not purring right now.
He is purring.
Exactly. Her mother and Prim can't know where she was today, so she has to come up with some sort of alibi. So she decides to stop in the square to buy a few things like cloth for bandages and sweets for Prim. When she gets close to her house, she decides to tell her mother that she was repairing a leak in the roof of their old house and slid off, and she'll be vague about who she gave the food to. But when she enters the house, there are 2 peacekeepers in the kitchen, a man and a woman. Katniss notices brief shock on the man's face, and she says hi. Her mother comes over and brightly says she's here just in time for dinner. They are there and have been there for hours with a message from Thread. Before giving the message, the woman inquires where she's been. Katniss does her best to sound exasperated and walks as normally as possible. It would be easier to say where she hasn't been, then sets her bag down and notices Prim, Haymitch, and Peeta are also there. Sounding bored, Haymitch asks, "So, where haven't you been?" Katniss tells them all about a story of trying to go see the goat man to go get Prim's goat pregnant. But she was given the wrong directions by someone.
I would have panicked. I am a terrible liar. I cannot come up with a story on the spot to save my life.
Granted, she had the whole walk back to come up with something.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have needed every second of it.
And it's probably becoming easier for her because this isn't the first time she's had to come up with a
Yeah. That's a
lie.
really good point.
Yeah.
Because they're never really allowed to go over to the woods. So I guess she's probably had some things in her pocket over the years.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Luckily, Prim, Haymitch, and Peeta all played along with her story, and Peeta and Haymitch gave a crap for not listening to people. Eventually, the peacekeeper asks what's in the bag. She surely is hoping that it's full of game, but when she dumps it, her mother is grateful for the bandages, and Prim immediately grabs the candy and tosses it to Haymitch when she says none of them deserve candy. Peeta grabs her, and she gives out a little yelp in pain but plays it off. Peeta knows better, though, and surrenders the fight and kisses her. Katniss, then pretending like she forgot that the peacekeepers were there, asked what the message was. Thread thought that she would want to tell her cousin that the fence will now have electricity 24/7. Katniss plays dumb, pretending that this is news. Wasn't it always electrified?
Yeah, what do you mean? It's always been that way.
It's always been on.
Yeah. I don't even know where the fence is.
Yeah, how do you get there? And then the peacekeepers leave. Once her mother locked the door, Katniss slumps to the table and Peeta asks what's wrong as her mother starts to examine her. Aware that her house might be bugged, Katniss tells everyone that she slipped and fell on ice. Her mother points out that she may have broken something in her foot, but otherwise seems fine, and her tailbone is most likely just badly bruised.
His tail.
Oh, there must be a hummingbird.
I can't see it.
Is there a bird, buddy? He's like shaking. He's so excited.
I can see like his ears popped up and his tail started going crazy.
Oh, did it go away?
Oh, you lost your bird. I'm so sorry. Oh, must be back.
Are you even in frame? You're not even in frame.
Can you see his tail?
You can see his tail. You just can't. You can see part of one ear.
Please go. I was afraid he was going to attack me, but at least you would get it on camera.
Thanks for keeping us entertained over here, Bear.
Yeah, as if this weren't enough entertainment.
Prim grabs some pajamas and a robe. Her mother gets her a snowpack and props up her leg, and she eats 3 bowls of stew, all while thinking of Bonnie and Twill and hoping that the wet snow is enough to cover her tracks. Prim comes and asks about the wedding dresses and tells her to wait to try them on until she gets home tomorrow. Her mother brings her some tea with some sleep syrup, and she almost immediately starts to fall asleep. Peeta volunteers to get her to bed, but with how wobbly she is, he just picks her up and carries her to bed and tucks her in.
Aw. He's just so pure.
I love him. He turns to leave, but she catches his hand. She knows the effect of the medication can work like liquor, so she has to be careful with what she says. She just doesn't want him to go. And our first quote of the episode. He tucks me in and says goodnight, but I catch his hand and hold him there. A side effect of the sleep syrup is it makes people less inhibited, like with white liquor. And I know I have to control my tongue, but I don't want him to go. In fact, I want him to climb in with me, to be there when the nightmares hit tonight. For some reason, I can't quite form. I don't know. I'm not allowed to ask for that. Don't go. Not until I fall asleep, I say. Peta sits on the side of the bed, warming my hands in both of his. Almost thought you'd change your mind today when you were late for dinner. I'm foggy, but I can guess what he means. With the fence going on and me showing up late and the peacekeepers waiting, he thought I'd made a run for it, maybe with Gale. No, I'd have told you, I say. I pull his hand up and lean my cheek against the back of it, taking in the faint scent of cinnamon and dill from the bread he must have baked today. I want to tell him about Twill and Bonnie and the uprising and the fantasy of District 13, but it's not safe to, and I can feel myself slipping away. So I get out one more sentence. Stay with me. As the tendrils of sleep syrup pull me down, I hear him whisper a word back, but I don't quite catch it. She sleeps till noon before her mother wakes her to look at her heel. Her whole body is exhausted, so she lets her doctor her and bring her breakfast in bed. She thinks about Bonnie and Twill a lot, also her wedding dresses, and then Thread. Is it possible that President Snow is in contact with Thread and telling him what to do, or is he just acting on his own? Either way, there is no escaping now. Over the next few days, Katniss jumps anytime anyone is at the door, but eventually she starts to relax, and even more so when Peeta tells her that Thread has turned off sections of the fence to have crews secure the bottom of the fence to the ground. Peeta comes over daily to bring her cheese buns and to help her with the family book. It's an old book of parchment and leather that was made by an herbalist from her mother's family a long time ago. The book is full of pages of ink drawings of plants and their medical uses. Her father had even added a section for edible plants, and she has wanted to add some that she learned from Gale or the games. Since she's not an artist, she asked Peeta to draw for her. Some plants he knows, some she has samples of, and others she describes to him. He makes sketches on a separate piece of paper, and once Katniss gives him the go-ahead, he puts them in the book, and Katniss puts what she knows about them in. And then, quote to end the chapter. It's quiet, absorbing work that helps take my mind off my trouble. I like watching his hands as he works, making a blank page bloom with strokes of ink, adding touches of colors to our previously black and yellowish book. His face takes on a special look when he concentrates. His usual easy expression is replaced by something more intense and removed that suggests an entire world locked away inside of him. I've seen flashes of this before, in the arena or when he speaks to a crowd, or that time that he shoved the peacekeeper's gun away from me in District 11. I don't quite know what I make of it. I also become a little fixated on his eyelashes, which ordinarily you don't notice much because they're blonde. But up close in the sunlight slanting in from the window, they're a light golden color and so long I don't see how they keep from getting all tangled up when he blinks. One afternoon, Peeta stops shading a blossom and looks up so suddenly that I start as though I were caught spying on him, which in a strange way maybe I was. But he only ever says, "You know, I think this is the first time we've ever done anything normal together." Yeah, I agree. Our whole relationship has been tainted by the games. Normal was never part of it. Nice for a change. Each
So cute.
So cute. And so many times, so many people talk about how, like, when they compare, like, Katniss and Gale and Katniss and Peeta and Katniss's relationship with both of them, they all go to this because they're like, she spent a whole paragraph talking about his eyelashes.
That's true. I don't know that she's ever mentioned how Gale looks really.
No.
I mean, other
What
than
was
saying
the-
like other people find him attractive.
Yeah.
But she's never said anything about that.
No. And the one time that she described him, I don't remember what word it was, but I remember I was like, that's how you're describing.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the word either.
It's going to come to me in the middle of something. Each afternoon, he carries me downstairs for a change of scenery, and I unnerve everyone by turning on the television. Usually, we only watch when it's mandatory because the mixture of propaganda and displays of the Capitol's power, including clips from 74 years of Hunger Games, it's so odious. Odious?
Odious, I think.
Odious.
Word of the day.
Odious. What does odious mean? Do you know odious?
Nope. Sure don't.
Thanks, Suzanne. Extremely unpleasant, repulsive, or deserving intense hatred and disgust.
Ugh, Gale. For you. Not for me, let's be clear.
All right, let's see. Oh, that was loud.
I never see that coming.
That one was really loud too. Well, it was odious. Okay. Including clips from 74 years of Hunger Games. It's so odious. But now I'm looking for something special. The Mockingjay that Bonnie and Twill are basing all of their hopes on. I know it's probably foolishness, but if it is, I want to rule it out and erase the idea of a thriving District 13 from my mind for good. My first sight is in a news story referencing the dark days. I see the smoldering remains of the Justice Building in District 13 and just catch the black and white underside of a Mockingjay's wing as it flies across the upper right-handed corner. That doesn't prove anything, really. It's just an old shot that goes with an old tale. However, several days later, something else grabs my attention. The main newscaster is reading a piece about the shortage of graphite affecting the manufacturing of items in District 3. They cut to what's supposed to be live footage of a female reporter encased in some protective suit standing in front of the ruins of the Justice Building in 13. Through her mask, she reports that unfortunately, a study has just today determined that the mines of District 13 are still too toxic to approach. End of story. But just before they cut back to the main newscaster, I see the unmistakable flash of the same Mockingjay's wing. The reporter has simply been incorporated into the old footage. She's not in District 13 at all, which begs the question, what is?
Ominous.
And that is the end of 11.
Which I guess I also have had the question of what's the point in the fence really to begin with? Because if there's really nothing else out there, then why would people leave? Like, where would they go? They wouldn't have any resources on their own anyways. So why do you need to keep people in?
The reasoning in one of the main 3 books, I don't remember which one, was that it's technically to protect them from the wilderness. So like the wild dogs and all those to keep like predators out.
I see. Okay, I can sort of see that, I guess.
Yeah, they claim it's not to keep people in, but it's to keep whatever else from coming in. But we all know it's to keep them in.
Well, yeah, but they gotta have something to tell the people.
It's not really you that we're worried about. It's really that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of
Mm-hmm.
course. Obviously.
Yeah. Why would you think anything different?
Yeah. Also, how dumb do they think that these people are?
Very.
If they've been for 75 years using the same footage.
Granted, the only people I believe that really seem to watch the TV and have it always on are people in the Capitol.
Yeah. Everyone else has to work all day.
Everyone else has to work all day, and they're not and like they were saying in here, they don't enjoy the TV being on. Why do they need to watch Capitol propaganda? Like they're only watching the mandatory viewings and that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe they're not paying that close attention. And if you're really watching TV, are you paying that close attention?
So true. Yeah. But I feel like, no, never mind. Maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't think I would notice that.
It.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of things I'm not very observant, so I probably wouldn't notice that.
Especially when it comes with TV, I'm really not observant.
Yeah.
Except for when we're doing our reactions. That's the only time that I'm like paid attention.
Yeah. And then I had another thought of if the newscaster is in this outfit, then obviously they know that, like, they know they're not in District 13 because they would be in front of a green screen or something.
Maybe
so what were they told?
Maybe they were just told they know it's too hazardous to go there, so we don't want to put you in jeopardy. So
then why put them in a fake outfit and pretend that they're in 13? I don't know.
For the look,
I guess.
For the drama.
For the drama. The Capitol does love the drama. I forget. Oh my God, they would love Love Island.
Oh my gosh.
The Capitol could show Love Island.
Oh, what if they have a version of their own Love Island?
I want a book about that next. Let me read that.
Someone quick make a fanfic about that, please.
And send it to me personally.
We have our email. You can send us an email.
Yes. I'll take the first chapter, anything you got.
That would be quite the book.
I think it'd be really entertaining. I'd probably read it.
What do you think they would talk about?
I don't know. Because really the only entertainment they have is the Hunger Games, so I'm not sure what their other pop culture is.
What is their day-to-day life like? And then you gotta start like thinking about being a Capitol citizen now.
What color hair would you have in the Capitol?
Blue?
Pink for sure.
Pink. Yeah, I could see that.
But what color skin then? Because they dye their skin too.
Oh crap, that's right. I don't know. I can't do like a yellow because that's just jaundice. Maybe I'll be like, who is it, Venya or Octavia, and do
pea green.
Yeah, pea green.
I think I go for maybe like purple? A light purple.
Yeah. Pink and purple definitely look good together.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So cute.
Cute. Oh, that's funny. Let us know what color hair would you have? What color skin would you dye your skin to?
And maybe any other fun changes you'd like to add in there, because these people are all sorts of wacky. So,
ooh, I gotta add in Cinna's
gold
eyeliner.
Yeah, I think I would have to have some kind of Mockingjay something somewhere
for sure
to be up with the times.
It's trending.
Yeah,
it's so trendy, guys.
Yeah.
Katniss has a hard time staying quiet in her bed after this discovery. She stays inside, eats the cheese buns, and watches Peeta sketch. Haymitch comes by to bring them not great news from the town, mostly people being punished or having gone from starvation. Spring is starting when her foot has healed enough for her mother to give her some exercises and be able to walk on her own for short periods of time. One morning, she wakes with her prep team smiling at her. They came early to surprise her.
I would just love to wake up and my first sign is all these Capitol people standing in my bed smiling.
I'm just picturing like they're literally standing over her.
Oh, me too.
Like basically all their heads together over her and just.
Yeah. Talk about a jump scare.
Oh, I'd be terrified. I'd scream. I would not handle that well. They are here for the bridal photo shoot that Haymitch had pushed back until she was healed, and Katniss tries her best to act excited. Her mother had hung up all the dresses that she hadn't tried on yet. Her team gets to business. Their main concern is her face, and she tells them that she got a mark from slipping on the ice. They think nothing of it. While they were working on getting her hairless, the team chatters on, but Octavia makes a comment about not being able to get shrimp for a party, so Katniss asks about it. Octavia tells her that the weather has been so bad in District 4 that they haven't been able to get any seafood for weeks.
How about that? Something else is
very strange.
Is hard to find, hard to come by.
Weird coincidence.
Very strange.
Katniss is sure that District 4 has revolted now as well. She casually questions about other hardships because they aren't used to having any sort of disruption that any little bit is huge for them. So by the time that she's ready, she learns that there are not only seafood disruptions from 4, but there are also fabric disruptions from 8, and then gadget disruptions from 3. She wants to ask more, but Cinna appears and doesn't seem to believe her story, but also doesn't question it. He just adjusts the makeup. The downstairs living room has been transformed for the photo shoot, and Effie is ordering everyone around to keep things moving in order. There are 6 gowns, and each has its own headpiece, shoes. Headpieces, shoes, jewelry, hair, makeup, setting, and lightings. Oh my goodness. Shules is the new word of the day.
I mean, the Capitol probably has shules. I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do. Oh, her mother feeds her bits of food and sips of tea between each set. And by the time they're done, she is exhausted, and Effie shoos everyone out the door and promises a phone call. Katniss decides to go upstairs and wash herself to get off the several layers built up on her. Prim had come home early from school and was able to watch the 2 last dresses, and both her and her mother seem very happy with the photo shoot. Once in bed, she realizes that they're so happy because they believe that this means that she is safe. That they're overlooking her interfering with the Peacekeeper.
I forgot that they don't know anything.
They're completely in the dark.
Yeah. Which I think is kind of bizarre that she hasn't said anything or made.
But I mean,
what would you even say, I guess?
Yeah. How and when, because your house is bugged. You know your house is bugged.
And they don't seem to really leave the house. And they're so busy right now because everyone is ill.
Yeah, they're coming to her for help.
To the hospital.
Yeah, the only hospital is this person's house.
Yeah.
So they're a little too busy to be like, hey, let's go on a casual jaunt to the square. little jaunt to the square.
Yeah.
But then also, if you did get them, what would you say?
Hey, it's not looking so good everywhere else. We gotta go. I don't know.
But then they would just worry too. Because she's already decided, like,
we're not going anywhere.
We can't go anywhere. We're stuck.
Yeah.
So
guess it'd just be pointless now.
Yeah, just worry over nothing.
For no reason.
Because it's out of all of their control at this point. There's nothing anybody can do.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like I would want a warning. Because, I mean, I guess up to this point, she doesn't know that something is going to happen. But again, I feel like they should have saw the writings on the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the districts rebelling, Gale knows about it. He wants to rebel. he seems kind of persuasive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Supposedly, according to him, the miners also want to fight.
Yeah, there've already been talks about it before they knew anything. And let's be real, Gale probably has a big mouth. He's already told people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. And they're the hospital. Hospital's got to know first thing if something's going to happen.
This is true. Yeah, if there's mass casualty, we need to know as soon as possible. Yeah. I don't know. So many things to think about.
Mm-hmm. For a 16-year-old.
Oh, yeah. Keep reminding myself.
I know.
Oh, it's so hard. I don't even think they acknowledge her birthday in here. I think it's just like all of a sudden time passes and now she's 17.
Is she 17 right now?
I don't think they're saying spring. I think her birthday is May 8th.
Oh, a specific day.
I was right.
May 8th?
It's May 8th,
okay.
Yeah. Her birthday is May 8th. They're talking about it being spring. So she's either still 16 or barely 17. I don't know. May is technically spring, so.
Yeah. 16, 17, not that different. Still very young.
Still very young. Yeah. She has a nightmare that night of herself in a torn and muddy bridal dress. The sleeves keep getting caught in different things while she runs through the woods, and a pack of mutt tributes are chasing her. She wakes to them standing over her. It's too close to dawn to go back to sleep, and she really wants to go talk to someone today. Gale is unreachable, so maybe PETA or Haymitch. She has to share what she has learned. That morning, she eats breakfast with her mother and Prim and then heads out. PETA isn't home. Maybe he's out in town already. Haymitch is moving in his kitchen already, though, so she walks in. Hazel is upstairs cleaning. His house is now spotless. Haymitch isn't drunk, but doesn't look steady. So the rumors of Ripper being back in business must be true. Katniss is thinking of letting him go to bed, but he suggests the two of them go on a walk. The two of them can talk in a form of shorthand, and within a couple minutes she updates him and tells him that there are rumors of uprisings, and he tells her that there are also rumors of uprisings in 7 and 11 as well. This means that there could be almost half the districts trying to rebel. He doesn't think that that'll work in 12 yet, though. The districts that have rebelled so far are large districts. This is what I was thinking of. Yes. So we weren't quite there yet.
Yeah.
Okay. In those districts, they only need half of the population to fight. Here, they would need everyone. At some point, they may stand a chance, but they are weak, and he teases that they don't develop nuclear weapons. He didn't get too excited about the District 13 theory, though. Katniss asks Haymitch what he thinks will happen to the rebelling districts. He points out that she knows what happened in 8, and if things get really crazy, he's sure they wouldn't have a problem doing the same as what they did to 13 to set an example. The footage they're seeing could be reused for many reasons. Look more impressive, easier than sending someone all the way out there. People are clinging to this idea because they're desperate with hope, like she is. That day, Prim comes home from school and says that there's a mandatory programming tonight, and she thinks that it's her photo shoot already. Katniss is hoping that she's wrong. It's only been a day, and she hasn't had time to prepare Gale for this. She has only seen him in passing when he stops by her mother to check his healing. Lately, he's scheduled 7 days a week in the mines. So the few minutes of privacy they have had, she's learned that the talk of an uprising in 12 is basically done because of Thread. With no revolt, she is destined to marry PETA. Katniss, Prim, and their mother gather at the television at 7:30, and Prim is right. Caesar Flickerman introduces Cinna, and after some chit-chat, they start showing the photos on a giant screen. She also finds out that the capital citizens also have the opportunity to vote for their favorite, and they have until noon the following day to make their final vote.
This is literally just like Love Island.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Now that you made that reference, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, very similar.
Who is your favorite couple?
I just voted on that. I'm
Did
just
you?
like the people in the Capitol. I'm no better.
Well,
I mean, different. No one's dying in that game.
No.
Whatever it is. Sort of basically a game.
Yeah,
They win money.
Yeah, they do win money.
Mhm.
But yeah. And then we get another book quote. I'm about to shut off the television, but then Caesar is telling us to stay tuned for the other big event of the evening. Yes, that's right. This year will be the 75th anniversary of the Hunger Games, and that means it's time for our third Quarter Quell. What will they do? Asks Prim. It isn't for months yet. We turn to our mother, whose expression is solemn and distant, as if she's remembering something. It must be the reading of the card. The anthem plays, and my throat goes tight with revulsion as President Snow takes the stage. He's followed by a young boy dressed in a white suit, holding a simple wooden box. The anthem ends, and President Snow begins to speak, to remind all of us of the dark days from which the Hunger Games were born. When the laws for the games were laid out, they dictated that every 25 years, the anniversary would be marked by a Quarter Quell. It would call for a glorified version of the games to make fresh the memory of those killed by the district's rebellion. These words could not be more pointed, since I suspect several districts are rebelling now. President Snow goes on to tell us what happened in the previous Quarter Quells. On the 25th anniversary, a reminder to the rebels that their children were dying because of their choice to initiate violence, every district was made to hold an election and vote on the tributes who would represent it. I wonder how that would have felt, picking the kids who had had to go. It is worse, I think, to be turned over by your own neighbors than to have your name drawn from the reaping bowl. On the 50th anniversary, the president continues, as a reminder that 2 rebels died for each capital citizen, every district was required to send twice as many tributes. I imagine facing a field of 47 instead of 23. Worse odds, less hope, and ultimately more dead kids. That was the year Haymitch won. I had a friend who went that year, says my mother quietly, Maisley Donner. Her parents owned the sweet shop. They gave me her songbird after, a canary. Prim and I exchange a look. It's the first we've ever heard of Maisley Donner. Maybe that's because my mother knew that we would want to know how she died. And now we honor our third Quarter Quell, says the president. The little boy in white steps forward, holding out the box as he opens the lid. We can see the tidy, upright rows of yellowed envelopes. Whoever devised the Quarter Quell system has prepared for centuries of Hunger Games. The president removes an envelope clearly marked with 75. He runs his fingers under the flap and pulls out a small square of paper. Without hesitation, he reads, on the 75th anniversary, as a reminder to the rebels that even the strongest among them cannot overcome the power of the Capitol, the male and female tributes will be reaped from their existing pool of victors. My mother gave a faint shriek, and Prim buries her face in her hands. But I feel more like the people I see in the crowd on the television, slightly baffled. What does that mean, existing pool of victors? Then I get it, what it means. At least for me, District 12 only has 3 existing victors to choose from. 2 males, 1 female. I'm going back into the arena. End of chapter 12.
Wow. I cannot believe that we are almost halfway through the book, and that is when you find out that she's going back into the games.
Yeah.
I thought it was much more similar to the first
first
book,
one.
where you knew immediately.
Yeah.
But no, there's so much buildup, so much backstory that I completely forgot about.
Yeah, there's so much that goes on. And it's like, you don't get any of that really in the movie either, from what I'm remembering at least.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with that movie as I am The Hunger Games, so I can't really remember. But there's definitely not to this extent. I remember the whipping for sure. That happens.
The whipping's in there, and then they have some of the victory tour in there too.
But Bonnie and Twill are not at all.
They are not in there at all.
And I think that, yeah, you said that you get some of the uprisings, or no? I can't remember.
I don't remember. It's not as like prominent as it is in the book, at least. If it is there, it's not like how big of a focus it is in this book.
Because I do think that the buildup is nice.
It is.
For obviously what happens while they're in the games. Because in the movie, I think it was a little abrupt. I did not see that coming.
No.
In the movie. I mean, I knew because I read the book. But
right.
I would not have seen that coming.
No. No, probably not.
But in the book, it makes a lot of sense because the whole world is crumbling. The whole government's just not doing good.
No, it's really not doing well.
They're going to run out of peacekeepers. You would think, anyways.
They're going to run out of a lot of things pretty soon.
Yeah. Food, number one.
Food, number one. As soon as 11 goes down, you're out.
Yeah. And I thought that this was going to be the special tab.
Oh, yeah, no.
I just thought that this was all that we got from Haymitch's games, that it was 2 or
the
4.
Twice as amount of tributes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that's crazy. Crazy. I do also want to point out, so their mother was given Maisley's canary. And when I'm, typing these up, I am still searching for things. So canary symbolism centers on warning, vigilance, and the power of song, acting as a spiritual measure of joy, intuition, and authentic self-expression. Famously representing a canary in a coal mine, these birds symbolize fragility, early warnings of danger, and the need to pay attention to subtle shifts in the environment.
Wow, she's so good with all these things.
Especially keep Maisley Donner in your mind with that canary when you're reading Sunrise on the Reaping.
Oh, okay. Because she's talked about in 14.
She is talked about in 14 as well. Yep. Chapter 13. Katniss's body reacts immediately and she takes off out the door and out of the victor's village. She isn't sure where she's going since she can't go into the woods. She finds herself on the ground of a cellar in an empty house in the victor's village. She balls up her shirt for her to scream into, and she only stops once her voice is almost gone. She curls up on the floor, stares up at the night sky. She's going back into the arena, back into her nightmares. She had expected to be publicly humiliated, tortured, executed, fleeing and being pursued by peacekeepers, marrying PETA and having their children forced into the arena, but she didn't expect to go back into the games herself. The deal, once a tribute wins, is that they are out of the reaping for their life. Until now, that is. Someone calls for her in the distance, but she ignores them for now. There is a paint sheet that she wraps herself up in, but it's stiff but warm. She sits and replays President Snow's voice. The victors are the strongest and are the embodiment of hope where there is none. And now 23 victors will be killed just to show how even that is an illusion. She is glad that they won last year, though. Any longer and she would have known the others too. Quote, even if they're not mentoring like Haymitch always has to, most return to the capital each year for the event. I think a lot of them are friends, whereas the only friends I'll have to worry about killing would be either PETA or Haymitch. End quote. It then hits her that they will be in with her. She would never kill either of them, but one will be in there with her. Whoever's name gets called, the other can volunteer. She already knows Peeta will ask Haymitch to let him go in with Katniss to protect her. She eventually makes it out of the house and goes to Haymitch's. He's alone in the kitchen with half an empty bottle of liquor in one hand and a knife in the other.
He always has a knife.
I mean, you got to be ready.
Yeah. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Is that what they say?
Exactly. Yes. Haymitch is drunk, but he expected her to come. Peeta went to him immediately, before he was even able to open a bottle, begging him to let him go back in the games with her. But why was she here? For her to beg him to take Peeta's place? She tells him that she came here to drink. He laughs and puts a bottle in front of her. She takes a few gulps. It feels like fire going down, but she likes it. Katniss points out that maybe he should go back in since he hates his life, and Haymitch points out that he might be obligated to save the boy this time since he saved her last time. She agrees. It is another good point. That was kind of Peeta's argument, that he chose Katniss the first time, so he owes him this time, and he wants the chance to protect her. Quote, you could live 100 lifetimes and not deserve him, you know.
And he is correct.
He is so correct.
Love Katniss. Peeta is
her.
way out of her league.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
she's not even close.
Oh, no.
Not even close.
Yeah. He's just like on another tier.
Mm-hmm. Love Peeta.
What a sweetie.
She does, but everybody knows Peeta is the best of their trio. Haymitch agrees that he'll go in with her if he can, but if his name is drawn, there's nothing he can do to stop Peeta from volunteering in his place. He thinks that these games will be unbearable no matter what, and she can see pain in his eyes. Quote, like you said, it's going to be bad no matter how you slice it, and whatever Peeta wants, it's his turn to be saved. We both owe him that. My voice takes on a pleading tone. Besides, the Capitol hates me so much, I'm as good as dead now. He might still have a chance. Please, Haymitch, say you'll help me. End quote. Haymitch frowns at his bottle for a while before agreeing. She thanks him and heads out. She knows she should go see Peeta, but in her state, he could get her to agree to a lot of things. So she heads to her mother and Prim instead. But when she opens the door, Gale is there and pulls her into his arms and tells her that he was wrong. They should have left. It's not too late to do so.
I know you have thoughts.
That just makes me mad. I'm sorry.
It makes me mad because I know Katniss would not want that.
No.
I think in her mind, she'd be like, please leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Go away.
Yeah. Like, you don't get it. We're not there. We can't leave, obviously. You know that. We both know that. Why are you here?
Exactly.
So I understand that.
Go away. We also haven't talked for how long? Mm-hmm. And you've been upset with me because of my fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Shoo. Scram. Go. Yeah, every time I read that part, it's just
like, Gale.
Makes my eyes roll. Because of course he's there.
Yeah. Like you said, he does tend to make things about him.
Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you when you wanted to run. I'm sorry. Nothing's a big deal. I want you safe. I'm sorry.
Go.
Go away.
I'm on your side on this one.
Yay.
Slowly but surely.
Yay. Point 1
for Peeta? Or not
team,
Gale? Team
not Gale.
Yeah.
I know, I was trying to figure out a way to word that. I'm like, team.
Team somebody.
Team somebody. Anti-Gale.
Team anybody but Gale.
Yes. She is having a hard time focusing, but when she sees her mother and Prim holding one another, she knows if they run, they will die. And now she has to protect Peeta End of discussion. It's too late. Her legs give out. The liquor bottle smashes to the floor. Gail holds her up, and when she wakes up, the liquor makes another reappearance. She's hung over and decides to hop in the shower and gets clean before going back to bed. Katniss can hear her mother and Prim's footsteps approaching. She's not ready, but she has to be strong for them. They come to her doorway with toast and tea. Katniss opens her mouth, going to say a joke, but instead starts crying. They come to her bed and both hold her till the tears stop. Eventually, Prim towels her hair and brushes it while her mother gets toast and tea into her. They get her dressed in warm pajamas, add more blankets, and she falls asleep again. She wakes in the afternoon to water next to her side table and gulps it all down. She heads downstairs. Her mother and Prim embrace her again, and it dawns on Katniss how much Prim has grown in the past 9 months. Everything has aged her and makes her look older. They're almost the same height now, too. Her mother gives a cup of broth for her and Haymitch. She brings it over to him. When she arrives, he is just now waking up and takes the mug. They sit in silence, sipping broth and watching the sunset. He hears someone walking upstairs and thinks nothing of it, as it's probably Hazel. But after a while, Peeta appears with a cardboard box of empty liquor bottles. He poured all of the liquor down the drain and tells them that they can't go buy more because he tracked down Ripper and threatened to turn her in if she sold either of them more. And he also paid her off for good measure.
Now, Peeta, listen. If I were Haymitch, oh my God, Peeta would be in danger for his life. I would have to go back to the games because I'd kill Peeta. I mean, how dare he? It's just one thing.
I know. I get it to a point, but also, like, Haymitch is such an alcoholic.
It's also dangerous.
It's really dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going cold turkey can kill you.
He's already had seizures, right? Or he's had
issues with detoxing before.
Yes.
Haymitch went from disbelief to anger and takes a swipe at Peeta with his knife, but Peeta deflects it easily. Katniss is also angry. Why is it his business what Haymitch does? Then next book quote. It's completely my business. However it falls out, 2 of us are going to be going in the arena again, with the other as a mentor. We can't afford any drunkards in the team, especially not you, Katniss, says Peeta to me. What? I sputter indignantly. It would be more convincing if I weren't still so hungover. Last night's the only time I've ever been drunk. Yeah, and look at the shape you're in, says Peeta. Granted, if I were to drink a whole bunch of moonshine,
it'd be a really bad day.
I'd be a wreck.
Actually, it'd be a bad couple of days.
Yeah, it would be.
At this age,
it would be.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected from my first meeting with Peeta after the announcement. A few hugs and kisses, a little comfort maybe. Not this. I turned to Haymitch. Don't worry, I'll get you more liquor. Then I'll turn both you in, let you sober up in the stocks, says Peeta. What's the point to this? Asks Haymitch. The point is that 2 of us are coming home from the capital. 1 mentor and 1 victor, says Peeta. Effie's sending me recordings of all the living victors. We're going to watch their games and learn everything we can about how they fight. We're going to put on weight and get strong. We're going to start acting like careers. And 1 of us is going to be a victor again, whether you 2 like it or not. He sweeps out of the room, slamming the front door. Haymitch and I wince at the bang. I don't like self-righteous people, I say. What's to like, says Haymitch, who begins sucking the dregs out of the empty bottle. You and me, that's who he plans on coming home, I say. Well then, joke's on him, says Haymitch.
I do see why Peeta is frustrated.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, everyone's going to handle that differently. They just found out that they have to go back to the games. I say, let's give her the day to just recover.
This is the first time that Peeta's acted out of anger.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that.
And really the only reason he's angry is because he wants them to get it together so that they can start prepping to make sure she lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, you two need to figure your crap out.
Yeah.
I need to get in the best shape possible so I can protect her, and you need to not be drunk so you can protect us from out here.
Mm-hmm. And also, wow, how efficient is he? They found out yesterday and he's already reached out to Effie. Oh my goodness.
He's
really on top of it.
He's got a plan.
Yeah, he does. Always has a plan.
No time to waste.
No.
They agree after a few days. After all, this is the best way for Peeta to prepare as well. Each night, they watch old game recaps of the remaining victors, and Katniss realizes that she didn't meet any of them on her victory tour. Haymitch points out, though, that her and Peeta, more so her bonding with other victors in rebellious districts, wouldn't be something that President Snow would want to do. As they go through the games, Katniss realizes that some of these victors might be elderly, which is both reassuring and sad. Peeta takes thorough notes, and Haymitch volunteers any information he knows, like their personalities. In the morning, they all run, lift, and stretch. In the afternoons, they work on combat skills, like knife throwing, hand-to-hand combat, and even tree climbing. Even though they're technically not supposed to train for the games, no one stops them. Haymitch struggles through, but he is still strong. Peeta and Katniss both excel, and it gives them something to do besides accept defeat. Her mother puts them all on a special weight-gaining diet. Prim treats their sore muscles, and Madge even sneaks them her father's Capitol's newspapers. Gale comes on Sundays to help, and even though he doesn't love Peeta or Haymitch, he teaches them all he knows about snares. And then a quote to end the chapter.
We're so close.
We're so close, guys. It's weird for me being in conversations with both Peeta and Gale, but they seem to have set aside whatever issue they have about me. One night, as I'm walking Gale back to town, he even admits it'd be better if he were easier to hate. Tell me about it, I say. If I could have just hated him in the arena, we wouldn't be in this mess now. He'd be dead, and I'd be a happy little victor all by myself. And where would we be, Katniss? Asks Gale. Do you not want to just slap this man?
Oh, yes. Right now, yes.
These are the little
Gale,
things.
shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's these little things that
it's not about you.
It really bugs me.
Yeah, I do see that.
Yeah. To me, it's like all the little things add up, and I'm like, no.
Like, ugh, Gale.
Go away. I pause, not knowing what to say. Where would I be with my pretend cousin who wouldn't be my cousin if it weren't for Peeta? Would he still have kissed me, and would I have kissed him back had I been free to do so? Would I have let myself open up to him, lulled by the security of money and food and the illusion of safety of a victor? Illusion of safety being a victor could bring under different circumstances. But there would always be the reaping looming over us, over our children, no matter what I wanted. Hunting like every Sunday, I say. I know he didn't mean the question literally, but this is as much as I can honestly give. Gale knows that I chose him over Peeta when I didn't make a run for it. To me, there's no point in talking about things that might have been. Even if I had killed Peeta in the arena, I still wouldn't have wanted to marry anyone. I only got engaged to save people's lives, and that completely backfired. I'm afraid anyway that any emotional scene with Gale might cause him to do something drastic, like start an uprising in the mines. And as Haymitch says, District 12 isn't ready for that. If anything, they're less ready than before the Quarter Quell announcement, because the following morning, another 100 peacekeepers arrived on the train. Since I don't plan on making it back alive a second time, the sooner Gale lets me go, the better. I do plan on saying one or two things to him after the reaping when we're allowed an hour for goodbyes. To let Gale know how essential he's been to me all these years, how much better my life has been for knowing him, for loving him, even if it's only been in the limited way that I can manage. But I never get the chance. The day of the reaping's hot and sultry. The population of District 12 waits, sweating in silence, in the square with machine guns trained on them. I stand alone in a small roped-off area with Peta and Haymitch in a similar pen to the right of me. The reaping only takes a minute. Effie, shining in a wig of metallic gold, lacks her usual verve. She has to claw around the girl's reaping ball for quite a while to snag the one piece of paper that everybody already knows has my name on it. Then she catches Haymitch's name. He barely has time to shoot me an unhappy look before Peta has volunteered to take his place. We are immediately marched into the Justice Building to find head peacekeeper Thread waiting for us. New procedure, he says with a smile. We're ushered out the back door, into a car, and taken to the train station. There are no cameras on the platform, no crowd to send us on our way. Haymitch and Effie appear, escorted by guards. Peacekeepers hurry us onto the train and slam the door. The wheels begin to turn, and I'm left staring out the window, watching District 12 disappear, with all my goodbyes still hanging on my lips. End of chapter 13.
They took away their last goodbye.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can't even have that.
No.
It's punishment for everything you have done. Mm-hmm. You don't get goodbyes to anybody anymore.
Yeah. I wonder if the other tributes did.
That is a good point. I don't know.
I'm so shocked that when they actually get to the Capitol that all the other tributes don't hate them.
I know.
Because they are definitely the reason that they're back in the games.
Potentially.
I mean, I guess there's maybe it was planned that way from the beginning.
Technically, they're in these big envelopes that have been there for 75 years.
So convenient.
Mm-hmm. I know in the movie they play it off as they flipped it and they made it that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll never fully know.
Yeah. It just is way too convenient.
It is very convenient
for them. But can't prove it, so.
Can't prove it. That's... Anything else on 13? Okay.
I don't think so.
You're just so ready for 14.
Ready.
Chapter 14. Katniss watches her district disappear from the view out of the window. This time, she doesn't even have the slightest hope of returning. Before her first games, she promised Prim that she would do everything to come back to her, and now she's promised to do everything to keep Peta alive. She had planned what her last words to everyone would be as well, but the Capitol stole that from them too. Peta tells her that they will write everyone letters and have Haymitch hold on to them, and he'll distribute them if they needed to be. Katniss nodded, but she went to her room knowing that she would never write those letters. She spends the night heartsick, but determined to be at the top of her game to protect Peta. In the morning, Effie gathers Katniss for breakfast, and she and Peta try to make small talk. He compliments her hair. She thanks him and tells him that she has done it to match Katniss's pin and was wanting to get both Peta and Haymitch something gold to show that they are a team.
Oh, she's a little out there, but she's really sweet.
She's trying her hardest right now. She's trying her best. It's obvious that she doesn't know that the Mockingjay is a symbol for the rebels now, but Peta tells her that that's a great idea. Haymitch agrees, but is miserable not being able to drink. Effie even had her wine taken away when she saw the effort that he was putting into this.
That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's going to take everything in him to keep Peta alive in this arena. With Haymitch's friends, Katniss is also aware that he will probably fail. Effie suggests they go and watch the reaping recap after they finish eating, and Peta grabs his list of the remaining victors before going to the TV compartment. There have been 75 victors in the history of the games, with 59 still alive today, and Katniss recognizes several as either previous tributes or mentors. There is a large pool from districts 1, 2, and 4, as expected, but each district have at least one male and one female victor. As the reapings go by, Peta puts stars next to each tribute chosen. Haymitch's face held no emotion, but Effie would make hushed, distressed comments quite frequently. Katniss tries to remember all of them, but like last year, only a few tributes stick out in her mind. There is a beautiful brother and sister from District 1 who won back-to-back years when Katniss was small. Brutus volunteered from District 2. Katniss guesses that he's around 40 now, but must be excited to go back into the games. For District 4, there is Finnick, who won 10 years ago at the age 14. There was also a young brown-haired girl who was called and was hysterical, but there was quickly a volunteer. An 80-year-old woman who walks with a cane.
I love her so much.
Oh. She might get me more than Rue, because I'm already tearing up just by that, just by the mention of her.
Yeah.
There is only one living female victor from 7, Joanna Mason.
Oh, my favorite. She gives me Bellatrix vibes from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I can see that.
She's obviously not as dark as Bellatrix, but
no, but she
has the fire.
She's got the fire in her for sure. She's fun.
Mm-hmm.
She won her games a few years ago by having everyone else believe she was weak. A woman named Cecilia from 8 is called and had to detach herself from 3 children, and Chaff from 11, who is a friend of Haymitch's. When the announcer gets to her and Peta, they tear up because the odds will never be in their favor, but this will still be the best games ever.
Oh my god.
Haymitch leaves after, and Effie follows shortly after. Peta tells Katniss that she should go to sleep, but she doesn't want to without him, but also can't ask that of him. He will just review his notes and then see her in the morning. She heads off to sleep and is woken with a nightmare. No one comes, though, even though she must have been screaming. She gets a robe on and heads out to find something warm to drink. She orders warm milk. The TV is still on, so she investigates and sees Peta on the couch with a box of tapes from old Hunger Games. He asks if she wants to talk about the nightmares. She doesn't, but Peta just holds his arms out for her, and it's the first time since the Quell announcement he's shown her any kind of affection and turned into a demanding trainer. Quote, I wrap my arms tightly around his neck before he can order me to do push-ups or something. Instead, he pulls me in close and buries his face in my hair. Warmth radiates from the spot where his lips just touched my neck, slowly spreading through the rest of me. It feels so good, so impossibly good, that I know I will not be the first to let go. And why should I? I have said goodbye to Gale. I'll never see him again, that's for certain. Nothing I do can hurt him. He won't see it, or he'll think I'm acting for the cameras. That, at least, is one weight off my shoulders. End quote. I don't know how I feel about that passage, and that's why I put it in there. Because I have so many mixed feelings on it.
I don't know how I feel about it either.
Like, on one hand, it's like she's saying being in the embrace of Peta just, like, brings this calmness and warmth to her.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, she's like, what do I have to lose? Like, I'm not going back to Gale ever, so that's done.
Yeah. I feel like she was, I don't know. I really don't think that she ever really had feelings for Gale.
I don't think so.
I feel like that would have happened at some point during their friendship, and it really didn't until she went to the games. I feel like, and then it was
And it
like,
was kind of forced.
I can't have it. Maybe I want it now.
Yeah.
And now she's, I don't know.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep going.
But she's at least admitting that she likes PETA, so.
She is admitting that she likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially now that, like, Gail's out of the picture, it's for her in her mind right now. She's like, I only have PETA now.
Yeah.
And she's starting to embrace that now, I guess.
I guess so.
I don't know. It's so complicated.
I know.
Their embrace is broken when a Capitol attendant comes in with Katniss's warm milk with honey and spices, and he also brought an extra cup. He hesitates, shakes his head, and backs out of the room. He must feel bad for them. A lot of Capitol people are unhappy with the games. They get attached to their victors. Which also is like, I understand why, like, if the Capitol did decide that is the games, like if they weren't,
if it wasn't pre-planned.
If it wasn't pre-planned, that's like not great. Even coming from the Capitol side, they love their victors.
They do. Yeah.
They get very attached to them.
Mm-hmm. And now you're just making her more of a martyr.
Yeah.
And now you're also pitting the Capitol against you, who's her only supporter.
Pretty much, yeah.
It wouldn't make sense for them to do that, but they do a lot of stupid things.
They do a lot of stupid things, yeah.
So, hard to say.
Who knows? It's, yeah. PETA has been watching certain people's fighting techniques and tells Katniss that she can pick the next one. She digs through the box and comes across one they haven't watched. The second Quarter Quell and the victor, Haymitch Abernathy. PETA didn't want to watch this one with Haymitch, and with him being on their team, it didn't seem necessary. But since they don't have the 25th games, this is the only Quell they have. It could have information for them, and they also don't have to tell Haymitch. They put it on and watched the president announce the second Quarter Quell from the envelope that was there. It'll be twice the amount of tributes. Katniss is overwhelmed by the amount of kids going to their death. A woman who isn't Effie calls out the names for 12. The first girl is from the seam, and the next is Maisie Donner, her mother's friend. There are 2 girls clinging on her, all blonde and definitely merchant children. PETA points out that he thinks that one of those girls is her mother. He is right, and no one exaggerated her beauty. She clung on to the other girl who looked just like Maisie, but also like Madge. PETA tells her that Maisie was Madge's aunt. Her mother was Maisie's twin. His father mentioned it to him once. Madge's mother spent half her life immobilized in bed. She never realized that she and her mother were so connected. Her pin also means something different now, too. The previous owner of it was Maisie Donner, a tribute who was murdered in the arena. Haymitch was the last to be called. He was a looker, and even then looked dangerous.
It's time!
Guys, we've made it. Oh, PETA, you don't think he killed Maisie, do you? I burst out. I don't know why, but I can't stand the thought. With 48 players, I say the odds are against it, says PETA. The chariot rides, in which the District 12 kids are dressed in awful coal miner outfits, and the interviews flash by. There's little time to focus on anyone, but since Haymitch is going to be the victor, we get to see one full exchange between him and Caesar Flickerman, who looks exactly as he always does in his twinkling midnight blue suit. Only his dark green hair, eyelids, and lips are different. So, Haymitch, what do you think of the games having 100% more competitors than usual? Asked Caesar. Haymitch shrugs. I don't see that it makes much a difference. They'll still be 100% as stupid as usual, so I figured my odds will be roughly the same. The audience bursts out laughing, and Haymitch gives them a half smile. Snarky, arrogant, indifferent. He didn't have to reach far for that, did he, I say. Now, it's the morning the games begin. We watch from the point of view of one of the tributes as she rises up through the tube from the launch room into the arena. I can't help but give a slight gasp. Disbelief is reflected on the faces of each of the players. Even Haymitch's eyebrows lift in pleasure, although they almost immediately knit themselves back in a scowl. It's the most breathtaking place imaginable. The golden cornucopia sits in the middle of a green meadow with patches of gorgeous flowers. The sky is azure blue with puffy white clouds. Bright songbirds flutter overhead. By the way some of the tributes are sniffling, it must smell fantastic. An aerial shot shows that the meadow stretches for miles. Far in the distance, in one direction, there seems to be woods. In the other, a snow-capped mountain. The beauty disorients most of the players because when the gong sounds, most of them seem like they're trying to wake from a dream. Not Haymitch, though. He's at the cornucopia armed with weapons and a backpack of choice supplies. He heads for the woods before most of the others have stepped off their plates. 18 tributes are killed in the bloodbath of the first day. Others begin to die off, and it becomes clear that almost everything in this pretty place, the luscious fruit dangling from the bush, the water in the crystalline streams, and even the scent of the flowers when inhaled too directly is deadly poisonous. Only the rainwater and the food provided at the cornucopia are safe to consume. There's also a large, well-stocked career pack of 10 tributes scouring the mountain area for victims. Haymitch has his own troubles over in the woods, where the fluffy golden squirrels turn out to be carnivorous and attack in packs, and the butterfly stings bring agony, if not death. But he persists in moving forward, always keeping the distant mountains at his back. Maisley Donner turns out to be pretty resourceful herself. For a girl who leaves the cornucopia only with a small backpack, inside she finds a bowl, some dried beef, and a blowgun with 24 darts. Making use of the readily available poison, as soon as she turns the blowgun into a directly weapon by dipping the dart in lethal substances and directing them into her opponent's flesh. 4 days in, the picturesque mountain erupts in a volcano that wipes out another dozen players, including all but 5 of the career pack. With the mountain spewing liquid fire and the meadow offering no means of concealment, the remaining 13 tributes, including Haymitch and Maisley, have no choice but to confine themselves to the woods. Haymitch seems bent on continuing in the same direction, away from the now volcanic mountain, but a maze of tightly woven hedges force him to circle back into the center of the woods, where he encounters 3 of the careers and pulls his knife. They may be much bigger and stronger, but Haymitch has remarkable speed and has killed 2 when the third disarms him. That career is about to slit his throat when a dart drops him to the ground. Maisley Donner steps out of the woods. We'd live longer with 2 of us. Guess you just proved that, says Haymitch, rubbing his neck. Allies? Maisley nods, and there they are, instantly drawn into one of those packs you'd be hard-pressed to break if you ever expected to go home and face your district. Just like PETA and me, they do better together. Get more rest, work out a system to salvage more rainwater, fight as a team, and share food from the dead tributes packs. But Haymitch is still determined to keep moving on. Why? Maisley keeps asking him, and he ignores her until she refuses to move any further without an answer. Because it has to end somewhere, right? Says Haymitch. The arena can't go on forever. What do you expect to find? Maisley asks. I don't know, but maybe there's something we can use, he says. When they finally make it through that impossible hedge, using a blowtorch from one of the dead courier's packs, they find themselves on flat, dry earth that leads to a cliff. Far below, you can see jagged rocks. That's all there is, Haymitch. Let's go back, says Maisley. No, I'm staying here, he says. All right, there's only 5 of us left. May as well say goodbye now anyway, she says. I don't want it to come down to you and me. Okay, he agrees. That's all. He doesn't offer to shake her hand or even look at her, and she walks away. Haymitch skirts along the edges of the cliff as if trying to figure something out. His foot dislodges a pebble and it falls into the abyss, apparently gone forever. But a minute later, he sits to rest. The pebble shoots back up beside him. Haymitch stares at it, puzzled, and then his face takes on a strange intensity. He lobs a rock the size of his fist over the cliff and waits. When it flies back out, right into his hand, he starts laughing. That's when we hear Maisley begin to scream. The alliance is over. She broke it off, so no one could blame him for ignoring her. But Haymitch runs for her anyway. He arrives only in time to watch the last flock of candy pink birds equipped with long, thin beaks skewer her through the neck. He holds her hand while she dies, and all I can think of is Rue and how I was too late to save her too. Later that day, another tribute is killed in combat, and a third gets eaten by a pack of those fluffy squirrels, leaving Haymitch and a girl from District 1 to vie for the crown. She is bigger than he is and just as fast, and when the inevitable fight comes, it's bloody and awful, and both have received what could well be fatal wounds. When Haymitch is finally disarmed, he staggers through the beautiful woods, holding his intestines in, when she stumbles after him, carrying the axe that should deliver his death blow. Haymitch makes a beeline for the cliff and has just reached the edge when she throws an axe. He collapses on the ground and it flies into the abyss. Now weaponless as well, the girl just stands there, trying to staunch the flow of blood pouring from her empty eye socket. She's thinking that perhaps she can outlast Haymitch, who's starting to convulse on the ground. But what she doesn't know, and what he does, is that the axe will return, and when it flies back over the ledge, it buries itself in her head. The cannon sounds, her body is removed, and the trumpets blow to announce Haymitch's victory. Peeta clicks off the tape, and we sit there in silence for a while. Finally, Peeta says, that force field at the bottom of the cliff, it was like the one on the roof of the training center, that one that throws you back if you try to jump off and commit suicide. Haymitch found a way to turn it into a weapon. Not just against other tributes, but the capital too, I say. You know they didn't expect that to happen. It wasn't meant to be a part of the arena. They never planned on anyone using it as a weapon. It made them look stupid that he figured it out. I bet they had a good time trying to spin that one. Bet that's why I don't remember seeing it on television. It's almost as bad as Us and the Berries. I can't help laughing, really laughing, for the first time in months. Peeta just shakes his head like I've lost my mind, and maybe I have. Almost, but not quite, says Haymitch from behind us. I whip my head around, afraid he's going to be angry over us watching his tape, but he just smirks and takes a swig from a bottle of wine. So much for sobriety. I guess I should be upset he's drinking again, but I'm preoccupied with another feeling. I spent all these weeks getting to know who my competitors are, without even thinking about who my teammates are. Now a new kind of confidence is lighting up inside of me, because I think finally I know who Haymitch is, and I'm beginning to know who I am. And surely 2 people who have caused the Capitol so much trouble can think of a way to get Peeta home alive.
It is so crazy to me how similar him and Katniss are. Haymitch and Katniss.
They are so incredibly similar. It's wild.
Yeah. And their first reaction to the games was to run as far as possible to the end. And then they both did
Be on their own.
Yeah, to be by themselves. They did not want to team up with anybody. And then they both used things that the Capitol never planned, or did things that the Capitol never planned.
They both ended up teaming up with their district partner. It's wild. I forgot that they kind of told about Maisley's death in here too.
Yeah, I was really shocked reading about the games at how much influence the arena had on the deaths. Because the arena itself killed more people than the tributes killed, which is crazy.
Yeah, that arena, it's beautiful and deadly.
Yeah.
Now just imagine that in a
whole book.
In a whole book.
Yeah. Is that book pretty similar to The Hunger Games? It's beautiful, first of all.
Look here. As in like
As
the
in-
structure?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Are you
Yeah.
in the arena for most of the book?
You're like, I will say that it's like the Hunger Games, as in the beginning part before they're reaped isn't as long.
Okay.
There's not much there. And then the whole like
They're at the like training center.
training and interviews and stuff like that. There is a lot of that. And then they're in the arena for a hot minute.
Okay. I'm also really excited to see how she writes the children in that book, because really the only child that we had was Rue.
Yeah.
So, and there's so many children apparently that are in those games. So I'm excited to see those.
Yeah, there are a lot of littles, I will say. And I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Like there's 48. 4 from each district.
Yeah. Odds are you're going to get some kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all kids.
They're all kids. But like the littler ones. There was at least a few, like a handful that I can remember off the top of my head. So they were brutal games.
I hate to say I'm really excited to read it, but I am.
I remember that too, because I had pre-ordered it as soon as I could pre-order. I was like, I'm ready for it. I'm reading it day one. I bought the book pre-order, and I also pre-ordered it on Audible. So, because something about me, I can only sit and read for so long. And then so I would sit and read. I'm like, okay, I'm on chapter 3. And then I'll go to Audible and like put my headphones on and like go on a walk and keep listening to it. I was like, the amount of times that I was sobbing on a walk because of this book.
Yeah. Everyone that's read it says, be prepared.
I am not a crier in books.
I am.
I hate to say it. I think you're going to be crying in that book.
I might, yeah. But usually the old people are what gets me, and there's probably not that many in that. I am nervous for this book, for that one scene.
Mags.
Yes.
Mags.
She's so cute.
And then it makes me think of Finnick from the movie, just screaming for her.
Yeah. That was rough.
That was really sad. I like Mags. And I can't believe that was our last chapter.
I know. This one went so fast.
It was so fast. Maybe not for you guys, but for us, it feels like
it feels really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would guess like, I don't know, maybe an hour of sitting here.
I would say probably an hour would be my assumption. And I know for a fact that it's not, because it was an hour ago. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 hours of recording time. But we have had a lot of cat interruptions today. He's had a lot of opinions. So
very, very chatty.
Yeah, this is a wild ride. We're getting closer to the games. And I mean, finding out about Haymitch's games was huge. Not really for this book, but a huge preview to what you're in for.
I can't imagine anticipating that book and not having it out yet because this is all that you have. I'm assuming you do.
Right.
Obviously, I haven't read
Yeah.
Mockingjay, so I don't know if there's any more details about Haymitch or the backstory in Mockingjay, but
I don't think
not
so.
really.
No. Catching Fire, the book came out September 1st of 2009.
Oh my gosh.
And Sunrise on the Reaping, March 18th, 2025.
That's so crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have expected that book to really ever come out.
No.
But from the time that it was announced,
Oh
my
yeah, once it was
goodness.
released, everyone was like, I want to read about Haymitch's games.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot that it was in there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm not going to reread that part before I reread the book. So, guys.
Were there any inconsistencies with what we just read and what happens in the book that you can tell at the moment? Maybe just a yes or no. No details.
They hit the main points.
Okay.
That is all. I cannot add a single word more.
I shouldn't have asked that question.
They hit the key points.
Got it. Okay.
But there are so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
I mean,
lot.
obviously, there's a lot that's missing because there's 48 people in these games.
Yep.
So a lot of stories untold.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And we still have a long way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're only halfway through part 2.
I know. And do we get in the... We don't get in the arena in the next one, do we, even?
No, we are not in
No.
the arena because I'm on the last chapter of part 2 right now, and we are not in the arena yet.
When did we get in the arena? Is it literally
I think it's
the
part
third
3.
part?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or at least I think that's where I am in the book. Part 3 is the enemy. I actually can't read what's on that page because I don't know what's happening. But we're not in the arena yet.
What chapter are you on?
The one right before part 3.
Okay.
Is that 18?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then 19. 19, we're in the arena.
That's crazy.
So literally the third part.
Yeah, 75% through of the book.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Because in my mind, the arena is the whole book because I love this arena so much.
That also means that I literally wrote the outlines for all of the third part in one day.
Oh, really?
Because once I was in the arena, I'm like,
you just have to keep going.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping. And I would get to the end of the chapter. I'm like, nope, I'm going to keep going.
Because it's such a cool arena. And obviously so much is happening.
There's so much.
There's the games. And then there's like the other games. The real game that's being played.
Yeah. The game makers had fun with that one.
Mm-hmm. And also I did notice when Katniss and Peeta were rewatching them, that was the first time that they had referred to tributes as players. Peeta said there were so many players. And it felt
I didn't
like
catch that.
he was like kind of seeing it as more of a game than like what it really is. I don't know.
Oh, and that's how the Capitol views it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure by now they've seen so many of the games that it's just like, well, just press play. It's like a movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They're all just so desensitized to the games because it's normal for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're really going to like The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
I hope so.
I really do. Which I'm really crossing my fingers because it's a big book.
I hope so. I hope that after Mockingjay, it's a little more exciting. What I remember from Mockingjay, which isn't much, it was just kind of a slower pace.
Yeah, you go from the high that Catching Fire ends on, and then it's brought back down because you almost have to like reestablish where you're at. I will say there is a little bit of that reestablishment in Songbirds and Snakes, but it makes sense because you're going way back in time. You know?
You have to like reset up everything. That makes sense.
But I can see you liking learning more about being in the capital.
I have so many questions.
I know you do.
So I can't wait to learn whatever it is I'm going to learn.
Yep. But yeah, that rereading Haymitch's games after reading that is just so, which is why before we read his games, we're going to read that again. And then after we're done, we're going to read it again. And then we're going to talk about it.
Perfect.
Because there's so many things when you reread. It's like things that you gloss over. And then you're like, oh, that actually means something. These books hurt a little more on the reread, I will say. Anything else on anything?
I have nothing else.
Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out with us for however long it's been for you guys. I don't even have an inkling once I finish editing. But thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms. They will be linked down below in the description for you guys. And we will see you next time for the second half of part 2. Bye.
Bye.